he is the face behind the diss track. And honestly, I just wanted to say, first off, before I even do the FaMNiversary 4 review, I just want to say thank you to all those who enjoyed it, all those who commented and liked and viewed it. Y'all had me getting a little bit emotional at the fact that y'all liked it because I didn't think anybody would. So thank you. But on to my review for FaMNiversary 4. Because honestly, to say that it was the greatest cause show ever, that's an understatement to say the very least. And honestly, I couldn't think of any better way to end a cause show as epic as that. So, my thoughts on the entire show, it was perfect. But there's one little thing that I did not like, two actually, and that's how Darren and Nick Virtue, with all due respect to them, figuratively shot themselves in the foot during their matches. Darren tried to jump Sean Nova from behind to gain advantage, and well, you saw what happened. As for Nick Virtue, he tried to get Lightning to strike twice with that elbow drop from the top of the ladder through the announce table, and you saw what happened with that. I got nothing against those guys. They're two of the greats, and hey, much love to y'all for putting on a show like no other. My personal 3 favorite parts of the entire show is Pandorino, his crazy ass. Yeah, I said it, crazy ass. Jumping off the top of the Titantron, which is like what? Give or take 75 feet? To deliver an elbow drop onto Roberto through a wooden table. I mean, first of all, not even real life wrestlers are crazy enough to do something like that. Not even New Jack is crazy enough to do something like that. And he's jumped off of high places to jump down onto other people. I mean, that was an awesome match. And then the way Darren Dastardly found a loophole and freaking stole the hardcore title. Well, you can't really call it stealing because it's under 24/7 rules, but either way, he came in, found a loophole, stole the hardcore title from Pandorino, and brought it into AWOL, who, by the way, I will speak about in just a few moments. And then, my second favorite part of the show, I definitely have to say the BH Merc match was tremendous. Because, like, it doesn't get any more emotional than that, or does it? But for those two guys to go to war for as many years as they have, as many times as they have, in as many matches as they have, it really doesn't get any bigger or better when it comes to two guys of that caliber. But my favorite part of that whole match is when BH kicked Merc square in the ear. And to be honest, he may be deaf in that ear. Who knows? But, I mean, that match from start to finish, well, every match from start to finish was awesome. And even though I am in UCW, which is another called league, and I love it there, honestly, with all due respect to those guys, I love them, but I can't think of any match on any UCW card that comes close to being as emotional as the BH and Merc match was. beat him in an I Quit match, and the rest, they say, is history. Now, I want to take the time to talk about two extra things I liked about the show, and that's towards the end of the show. The Rannick and Rom match, and the AWOL hijacking of FAM. I'll talk about Rom and Rannick first because, let's be honest, when Romar came out a few weeks ago and spoke of Rom and Rannick and all their little trials and tribulations as brothers in life, honestly, I felt that Romar was either going to try to enter himself into the match or be the special referee or get involved in some kind of way, but he didn't. He had to let Rom and Rannick settle their problems. And the way that match went, it don't get no better than that. I mean, Rannick chucked his brother Rom over the top rope through the announce table. I've never seen nothing like that. Never. And then I mean, it really doesn't get any bigger or better than those two. But like during the whole course of the match, there was moments where I thought Rannick was just gonna beat Rom, and that's it. No more Rom Buster. See you, bye. With all due respect to him, I ain't got nothing against him or nothing. But I mean, from start to finish, yo, that match was just awesome. And you know, if I can just take a moment before I go on to talking about AWOL, you know, I just want to say, besides New Legacy Inc., who are like heroes in gaming to me, you guys in FAM, Valor, UCW, Emmy, Syndicate, all you guys, you're like gaming heroes to me. Like, especially when it comes to WWE games, you guys are like gaming heroes to me. I look up to each and every single one of y'all. No question about it. There's one guy who I used to look up to that I don't look up to at all anymore. And I'm sure by now you all know why. I'll speak about him in a moment, but anyways, back to the Rom and Rannick match. The way it ended, the pedigree off the top rope, I legit thought Rannick was going to kick out. But when Rannick didn't kick out, I legit almost cried tears of joy when Rom won. I mean, it don't get no more emotional than that. It really doesn't. And, I mean, dude, you two tore the house down. There's not much more I can say about that. But now I want to take the time to talk about AWOL, and then I'll get to the other thing that I mentioned earlier. AWOL cleverly planned out their attack from 4 years ago up until FaMNiversary 4. BH walked into NGC, which was owned by Cameron Bash, after he left FAM, took it over, shut it down, walked back into FAM with mostly NGC talent, and then Bash showed up, won his matches, won his championships and everything. And then when Rannick returned, all these superstars over the last 2, 3, 4 years who were getting opportunities under BH's rule weren't getting those same opportunities once Rannick regained control. I mean, Sean Nova won the last Royal Rumble, and he had that stripped away from him, and it was given to Andy Badwell, who was the runner-up. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy Andy won the main event of last FaMNiversary, but with all due respect, I feel it should have gone to Sean Nova. And I was wondering who's gonna take his place? Who's gonna First off, I was wondering where's Sean Nova? What happened to him? And then he came back, I believe, before this year's Royal Rumble and decided to make a statement and pretty much take Rannick and his army head on, which is admirable, and I really do admire it. And then, out of the blue, where was I? Fuck. You guys are gonna have to forgive me. My memory is complete crap these days. And hey, I mean, it happens to the best of us. I lose my train of thought more often than not. But anyway, you guys, in all honesty, I've never seen anybody bring a crowd to its feet, with all due respect to everybody else. I've never seen anybody bring a crowd to its feet more times than Sean Nova has. I mean, BH has, Rom has, Merc, Rannick, Guns, Andy, they all have. But I've never seen anybody bring a crowd to its feet the way Sean Nova has. And it's got me thinking that if Sean can do it, and if the rest of AWOL can do it, why can't I? And you know what? It's also got me thinking that if people like Zach Sanchez and Lawrence Wild can win this call review competition, why can't I? But back to the whole AWOL takeover thing, it was cleverly planned. And honestly, if I was around in the community about 4 or 5 years ago, and I had planned it all the way up until FaMNiversary 4 exactly like Bash did, I would have done it the exact same way. But I would have executed the plan a little bit before FaMNiversary 4, so that way the takeover would succeed and maybe even come to fruition at FaMNiversary 4. So that way it would be just AWOL and no FAM. With all due respect to y'all, like, I love y'all's call league, and if I could be a part of it, A. But now I want to take the time to talk about the diss track that I put out a couple of days ago. Matter of fact, not even a couple of days ago. The diss track that I put out last night. Although by the time this gets seen by FAM, and by the time it goes up on their channel, hopefully, it'll be a few days past since the track came out. See, I don't know how many of you guys are fans of Valor Wrestling. I'm a big fan of that call league as well. But there's one guy who's a part of that call league, or at least used to be since he decided to take matters into his own hands, quote unquote, that took it upon himself during one of their big shows, Valor Ignite, to call one of FAM's top stars, Lance Frisco, the N-word with the hard R. I'm talking, of course, about Shannon effing Silvera himself. Now, I became a fan of Silvera over the last few years, and the couple of times I spoke to him on Twitter, he was cool to me. Same thing goes for his sister. They were both cool to me. But when I found out about this whole him calling Frisco the N-word with the hard R thing, I didn't believe it until I actually saw and heard it with my own eyes and ears. And you know what? Honestly, what kind of a person does that? Especially when they don't have any reason to, other than the fact that their skin color is darker than that person's. You call him the N-word? Did you forget that somebody that actually looked up to you is an N-word as well? Is black as well? Did you forget that, Shannon? Or is your head so far up your own ass that you just can't see past your own color? It's exactly the reason why I put out the diss track in the first place. Surprise, surprise, how are ya? I'm the face behind the diss track, Sonny boy. And hey, if by some miracle FAM lets you back in, I hope and pray that I get in at the same time and that my first opponent is you, so that I can put you in your place where you belong. Because where do you get off calling somebody the N-word with the hard R? See, if it wasn't with the hard R, you wouldn't have as much heat as you do right now. Yeah, you have your little supporters. You say it was taken out of context, but when the N-word is said with a hard R, ain't no such thing as context, especially when it comes from somebody like you. When it comes from somebody like you, there's no such thing as context. If it was said with G-A instead of G-E-R, then maybe, just maybe, you would have a little bit of heat taken off of your shoulders. But you had to push the envelope several times via text and via video and via live stream. And there's nobody in this world right now, and this is legit how I feel, there's nobody in this world that I hate more than Shannon Silvera, if that is your real name, which I highly doubt it is, but it doesn't matter. There's nobody in this world that I hate more than you. I just wanted to get that off my chest. So FAM, if I win this contest, and if by some miracle you let Shannon Silvera compete in FAM again, I want to be his first opponent. I want to be his first one-on-one opponent that he faces. Because me, I don't tolerate racism. Contrary to popular belief by people who I've met in my life and loved and lost, quote unquote, I'm not a racist. I love all white people. The only white person I hate is Donald Trump, and it's not even because he's white, but it's not about him. It's about the simple fact that racism, in any way, shape, or form, no matter if it's in the gaming world or if it's in the real world, it's not tolerated by me and the 200 some odd people who saw my diss track video on Shannon Silvera feel the exact same way. So if I win this call competition, I'll be forever grateful. And like I said in the diss track, I'll fight with FAM in the trenches, and that's real. No matter how real people may be in this world, it don't get no realer than me. So you know what? At the end of the day, I just want to do something I love. And as you can see I'm not exactly the most athletically gifted person in the world to become a real life wrestler just yet. But you know what? Being a car wrestler is the next best thing, so I figured why not? So again, FAM, if there's anybody who has the passion enough for car, for gaming, and somebody who has the respect enough for gaming to respect each other's races, religions, creeds, sexual orientations, and everything else, you look no further than me. Yeah, there may be a couple of people who are gonna enter in and probably win alongside me if I do win, but I want y'all to know, if I can't die for real professional wrestling, why not die for gaming professional wrestling? Why not die for FAM? Forever a movement. Fam. That's what you guys have become to me. Fam. Family. And believe me when I tell you, it'll reach greater heights never before seen. Even if I don't win, FAM is going to reach greater heights, the likes which nobody has ever seen before. So, hopefully I do win, and hopefully I get to be a part of it. By the way, y'all gonna have to excuse my nappiness. I know I got an afro and a little bit of a beard right here, but hey, you're lucky I didn't come in with it not picked out, because I was looking a hell of a lot more raggedy than what I'm looking right now. But hey, I'm doing all right, right? But anyways, hopefully I win this contest, and hopefully you guys give me the chance to put Shannon Silvera in his place if you ever decide to let him back in FAM. I highly doubt that's gonna happen, but I wanna put the son of a bitch in his place. Because if I don't, who will? Thank you for your time. Have a great day. Check out the diss track if you haven't already. It's pinned on my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and PSN at RealDMWalton. And don't tolerate racism from anybody. Even if it's just a joke, even if it's in storyline somehow, don't tolerate racism from anybody. Whether you're a gamer or a real life wrestler, don't tolerate that crap from nobody. Especially not from a nobody like Shannon Silvera. Yeah, he's won world titles in the past, but now he's a nobody. At least to me. He used to be a hero. Now he ain't nothing. Nothing more than a bitch. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully I win. Thank you for your time. Love you. Peace.